Welcome. I'm glad you're here and watching this next video on Q&A Executive. I think you'll find it's very useful. It's all about how to write a query referencing another cell in the worksheet. I hope you enjoyed. It's a very powerful and useful tool, and I hope that you enjoy applying it in your work as much as I enjoy teaching you how to use it. Today's little exercise is going to cover a couple of points. I've set this up and pre-typed it so it could be a little shorter video. And so you'll need to type this, and we're going to use this example through many videos, so it's probably worth your while to go ahead and follow along and make it. Let's suppose we're trying to make a report that covers these 2 years and is a report where our board has asked us to look at certain discretionary employee expense accounts. I'm just making this example up so you can work with that. But the employee discretionary, the accounts that the employee expenses that the organization has a lot of flexibility with. They're trying to figure out a way to save money, and so we want to report looking at this year's compared to last year's. Okay, so let me show you a neat little trick. We need to have the expense accounts that we're interested in listed down here. And so what I'm going to do is to open another workbook. Don't let this confuse you, but this workbook is our final report. But this second workbook is going to be a simple little query to help us just save us the time from having to retype those account names and numbers. And so let's just make a little summary report here for this year. Actually, I guess we need the accounting period we will need is for 2008, since our report is going to be for both of those. After you see this example, you'll understand better what I'm trying to do here. And so this is the two years we're doing the report, and what account codes do we want to look at? And so we'll click the helper button here, and we'll get the account codes, and we're looking at employee expenses, so we'll go down to 81 there to quickly take us to the employee expenses. And let's just suppose that the organization here, our union, has a lot of discretion on the book allowance and on the child allowance. I'm holding down my control button, and it has discretion on the utility allowance and the mileage allowance, local travel allowance. I'm just making these things up as work, but these are the ones that the board has a lot of flexibility within overall denominational policy. Just saying it wouldn't have any control over expat allowance and so forth. Maybe rent subsidy, okay, just to give us a few there. And so we've selected those are what we're interested in, our report showing, and we want and what we're extracting from the secondary sheet is the account code and the description. Okay, so we extract that and we get the account code and description of the accounts that we're curious about. All we've done here, if you're a little confused, all we've done here is save us the time of having to retype all of this back in my main report. So I'm doing Control C to copy that. I take it back up here to my main report, and we'll put this baby right here. And Control B. And all that second page was about was saving us the time of retyping all of this. I use that little technique quite a bit. So we're done with this sheet right here, and we can then close that, and so we don't have to have that anymore. So No, we're done with that, and so we just save the time. Now we get to the main point of our presentation. We are, in this cell, C8, you want to keep your eye on cell C8. We want to show the expenses for this year for this account, okay? So C8 is all we're talking about, and it's just for this year and this account. So this is a handy little trick. So I'm going to write a summary link here that will give me the expenses for that account, and this is a C8 account. You can see we're working in C8. Did I mention that we're working in C8? All right, and so I want to get this down here where you can see what's going on. We've got C8 is what we're working with, and the table, we want the expenses, okay? And now here's a little trick, okay? The whole purpose of the presentation. Account code, okay, we'll take, I've highlighted, do you see the blinking account code there? Right where the cursor is. And now watch this, I'll move slowly. I want this to be this account right there, okay? And I move slowly, I want to filter from this account. I want to say that right there. Okay, now accounting period we want to be for this accounting period right here and to right here. Okay, so you could see that instead of typing in the references directly, we do it by the values directly, we do it by referencing the cells that have the value. And in our report, we want the base amount to be shown. And then we're basically done. Notice the dollar signs here have automatically been supplied by Q&A, and they mean exactly the same thing they mean back in Excel. Absolute references versus relative references. And so if you don't understand them at all, you need to study out over in Excel how the dollar sign is used. But to give you a quick reminder, when we copy this query C8, it is going to continue referencing column 8A, excuse me, it will reference column A, but we'll change, the row will change down, and when we copy this, it will always go to C5, okay, C5, but it will keep the row the same. It'll change just the column values, okay, and so we'll show you the value of this, and we'll out of there, and then so we'll take this and we'll copy, I right click there, and I'm going to copy, and I just copy these values in here. Okay, Control V, and we'll extract this baby. You see, it has saved us from having, by building it this way, it's saved us from having to build every one of those queries. So we'll pick it up right here on our next video talking about breakouts.